vlog. I am currently actually running out. I started prepping dinner, so I gotta run out to do some errands. Yeah, so this is my finally I'm going out on my own, getting out of the house. Like I said, it's been over 90 days, so I'll see you guys soon. So I am going out. Oh, where's my shoes? Oh. Faith, can you put those shoes in there, Rissa?
What shoes?
My shoes. Put them on the other thing.
The other.
Okay.
It's a
all right, so I gotta. Don't know how the weather is going to be, so I'm bringing my coat. I hope I can find this place that I'm going to. Oh my gosh. Guys, what is going on in the world? It is so crazy, and yet it is so sad. And like, I know we definitely need change. That's something that I always said every day. Change is a must. From I was 7 years old, guys, I've been facing So I wonder what happened to the bin. So just finished one thing that I gotta go do, and now I gotta go to the other place. I'm actually gotta go where do I have to go? Well, I gotta go to the dollar store. I gotta go get some stuff. Well, equipment went good, so that's good. Oh boy. All right, it's actually nice outside. Yes, it is. It's nice outside. Oh man, I tell you, in life, the things that we take for granted, like just even being outside and being able to smell the fresh air. Oh, sorry, there's the mask in a way. It's a blessing. Like literally, it's a blessing. Okay. So I'm on to my next destination. This is the new norm to get into stores. This is crazy. So I just gotta get in and get what I need to get out. So I just reached home, and let y'all know, sorry for the camera quality. I'm using my phone because my lens, I'm still waiting for my lens to come in. As I said, my lens got broken. A YouTuber's worst nightmare. Freak, the lens is almost close to the price of the camera. You can believe that? So I'm just waiting for it. I ordered a new lens, so I'm waiting for that to come in. So right now, your girl is curry chicken and some cooked the dumpling for me. And of course, this one I don't know for it close in the yard. Hello, put my water down. I'm So yeah, so I'm just making some curry chicken. So yeah, you should come and nail a dumpling like this. Let's see who can nail the better dumpling, you or Faith. Come. So let's see this. Oh, you're not sure that hide? In the hide because you don't know if you nail the dumpling properly. So he's hiding. Let me see dumpling. Come, let me see dumpling now.
Sorry. Man, I'm gonna start laughing. Come and it goes up.
Ain't that? So let me see the dumpling, Memphis. Come up, me see. You don't like me? That's okay. You don't have to like me.
You have to love me.
Oh, you don't make it? Oh. Yeah, because me always telling him, say, Faith can, throw down. I always telling him Faith can throw down better than him in the kitchen. Let me see dumpling.
Put in that pot. You make it your video.
You put in that pot, that's the only one you're going to eat for the night. Because since you can't make it dumpling, if you can't make it, you cannot eat it. But that's all you're getting.
Mommy, feel my hand. Memphis, what do you think? Stop. Use this piece. No.
No,
What I want? Maybe something called big dumplings.
So you make one cartwheel. So
You have to play with
cartwheel or one dumpling
You have
alone.
to soft nothing lower. And roll up it.
So I just, oh my god, guys, I just went out and we went and bought some sweet potato and dasheen and yam. Tell me how I'm paying $20 for what, three little tiny little piece of potato. Look at this little tiny piece of yam. And this, you know how much stuff me could I get for $20 in Jamaica? Jamaica market, my backside, no sir.
Are you making those dumplings?
No man. And this was a West Indian store I went to. Yeah, West Indian store I went to because I had gone to like No Frills and they didn't have it. Like I could not believe it. Like that is just crazy. The price of that. But then me never really let go at the store anyways to go buy food because me find them thief. So, but the only other thing is just because them feel say them are the only West Indian store up there, they have to jack up them price. And you see, that's the other thing. You don't need to put your price so high, your price so ridiculous, right? You want to support your local business, but when then I rob you blind, right? And it's the same store that the newbie fam they went to. And I remember in her vlog, she was complaining about them and the price and whatever because of the hand sanitizer that you had to buy this and this much in order to get a hand sanitizer. Same store. And then if I go to the different West Indian store, but it's just that it's further and it's kind of out of my way and this one is the closest, is the only reason why I go here. But next time, I go drive further and go to the other one because the other one, they sell their stuff at a reasonable price. You would think that you would end up seeing a riot like the 1969 riot they had with violence against black. This, guys, this is just so crazy. This has got to stop, right? I can just imagine some of these elderlies that went through those days and that are still alive and witnessing all of this. I'm sure they didn't even imagine in their years that this would ended up happening again. And they march and there's still no change. It's almost like we fought to come so far in life and yet we are still backwards. And why is it that it's only black people have to be fighting for their rights? I hardly see any other nation fighting for their rights to be recognized as a human being. Like it's just mind-boggling what's going on in the world, and it's really sad. Like it's already bad enough. Like the world, we're facing a pandemic of the coronavirus. Then you have this pandemic of black people just being shot down worse than animals, almost like back in the slavery days where they used to get hung just being whistling at like a Caucasian woman. Like it's crazy. And for that lady that made that video, thank God, like you have to give praise that we have camera, we have devices. And I believe that anytime these things that are happening, people pull out your phone and start recording. There needs to be an end to all of this. This is just disgusting. Like I fear for my kids, them growing up in a world that is so cold. And people always like, I guess the ones them that racism don't affect, they thought that racism was over. But people like myself that face it, you face it at school, I face it at work. I can't even amount to tell you stories of what happened to me and how I had my own clients spit in my face and say, nigger, get out of my house, when I am there to help. And you're sick, I'm there to give you care. And even being chased out of one of my clients' house with a broom and being called a nigger. I had to run in my car and they were pounding my car. I literally had to call my workplace and tell them like, they don't want me there, and why would you send me at a place like that knowing my skin color? Like these are things you can't imagine. You can't imagine. Look at that person, that EMS worker that got arrested, right? Because he was helping a patient that had seizure. He was helping that person. And just based on the skin color, if it was a white Caucasian male or female that was helping that patient that had a seizure, I'm sure that cop would not, they would look at their helping, helping the person. They're not going to look at the skin color first and think afterwards, right? You had that doctor that was getting supplies to go and help. He literally had to call his wife for his ID because the police wanted to lock him up, right? It's like no matter what level you are, and this is why I always say probably great grandmother was raped by a slave master. Most people in the island, we are of mixed descent, if y'all did not know. Not because we look darker. Dark is just more dominant. Black, we're more dominant color, right? It's just mind-boggling, and it's sad to see. Like, people, you should be coming together. We live in a world that's already corrupt and hard as it is, and people are money hungry and money driven, right? We live in a world that's so cold. Is this the type of thing that you want your kids to grow up into, right? You should not be able to feel like, your kids can't go and get a proper education because your child is black, and the teacher decide that they are going to punish your child and lock them in the closet. Yes, that incident happened in Canada where a black little girl, she was about 8 or 9, her teacher saying that she was not listening, so she decides to lock her up in the closet and left her there. I don't even know what happened to end up in that case, right? I had a close similar situation, not gonna say what school, but that happened to my younger daughter Arissa. And for months behind the scenes, things has been happening where I had to fight for my daughter because of stuff like this and the racism that's going on, not just in Canada, not just in the US, not just in England, but all over the world that there is black people, all over. You had even in China where you seen black people were being abused, and because the Chinese were telling them that they were the one that brought the coronavirus to China, and they were treating them different. But at the end of the day, this world was built on black people's back. Like, when is people gonna stand up and look and realize that everybody in this world, they had a head start of us? Yeah, that doesn't mean because you guys have a head start, we're gonna sit there and complain about it. Yeah, you have some that will complain about it, but you have those that are hardworking, and we're gonna do what we need to do to get on that level. I am so sick and tired of this. I don't know what it is. Maybe because since I've been in Canada from I was 7 years old, I've been facing racism all my life, and I'm a big ass grown ass woman now. And still to this day I'm going through it. Just the other day my husband went through it. Right? Like, this has got to stop. My children have been through it. It got so bad till my son was in kindergarten. And he was sitting beside, and they were making fun of him because he had a black. These are the things that, as a black woman and as a black man, every day we have to go through. Every day we leave our house, not even in our house, even at times in our house, you don't feel comfortable because you're always looking over your shoulder. When does this end? At the end of the day, if you really rub off the skin right now, you would see like white, because before that's your flesh part of your skin. If you rub off a white person's skin, you would see white because that's the flesh part of your skin, and then you would see the blood. Right? We breathe the same air you guys breathe. We're no different than you. I'm still like profound as to what is going on in the world. And if people are sitting there, you guys are sitting there and not speaking up about it, you're a part of the problem. You're a part of the problem. Right? Back in the days, they used to, when black women were pregnant, right? This is how sick you have some people through so much thing, over 400 years of slavery. And it still feel like we are not free to a certain extent, right? When black woman was pregnant back in the days, you had people like doctors that wouldn't give us any medication. The ones that had C-section, they would cut them open to see how much we can withhold pain. You can imagine that being any other race, that being done to any other race. The things that we have gone through as black people, right? And even back in the days, this is why so much of our strong leader, anybody that you see speak up, you have Marcus Garvey, you have Bob Marley, you have so much of these other leaders that we had that speak up and know what was going on, you know, like influential people that just knows things that's going on in the world and speak up because they think that we would have somebody that's up. You have Malcolm X, you know, you have so much people. You have Martin Luther King, all of these well-known people that would have stand up for the black community were executed. Executed for what? Because they were educated and they knew their right and they knew that is not the way their people should be treated, right? And they tried to separate the black community. This is why I find that most black people, it's almost like they set us to turn against each other, right? We can't even come together. When you look at every other community, you have the Caucasian community, you have the Hispanic that they're come together, right? You have the Chinese, them that come together. You have the Asians. You have the what do you call them? The Indians. They all come together. They all have a community. Even with Canada, you have Chinatown. You have a town in Brampton where, you know, those are the Indian people. They all have their own community. But anywhere you see black people try to have a community, it's always a problem. Huh? Why is that? Like I'm so, like, it's just crazy the world that we live in. And as a black woman, I fear for my kids, right? I fear for my husband going out there. Like, he's not used to racism. Coming from Jamaica, he's not used to racism. Yes, Jamaica, yes, we have that type of thing where it's more like, if you're lighter skin, you're more privileged, because that's the slavery mentality that they have down there. And this is the reason why you find a lot of people bleaching their damn skin, because they figure if they're lighter, they have more opportunity, right? Because they say that they have the saying that light is right and black is whatever, right? So you put that mentality into people that are my skin color. What do you think is majority, some of them are doing? This is the reason why they're bleaching their skin, because they figure if they bleach their skin, they might have a better opportunity at getting a better job. But that doesn't really happen because you're still looked at as a black person. And that's never going to change. You can't change the color of your skin. And you have most of these celebrities that are black that lighten their skin, right? They lighten their skin because of what society say, that we're not pretty enough, we're not beautiful enough. Just like when Spice did that video and she talked about if she changed the color of her skin, right? And it's sad. And these things were embedded from slavery days. What we're facing now is modern day slavery, right? It is modern day slavery to a T. But things have got to change. And it has to start with the higher heads. In order for change, it has to start with the higher heads. Like, people are fed up. It hurts my heart just seeing this. Knowing what I went through, the trauma I went through. I could have been one of those kids that killed myself because I was bullied at a young age. I was bullied about my skin, my hair, right? Bullied because the sake of being black. That's something that I cannot change, and I would never change it. I love the skin I'm in. I could stand out there in the sun all day. I get my energy from the sun. When the sun shines, I am happy, right? When it's wintertime over here and there's no sun, like, I don't even feel like myself. These are just things. You have scientists out there that's still studying black people to find out what makes us faster than the odd other race. What makes us age gracefully? What makes us live longer? Right? Where do we get our strength from when it comes to certain things? Why certain illnesses, it's only other race gets it and we don't get it? These are certain things that we are still, as a human, we're still being studied. Our melanin skin are still being studied. So if people don't sit down and open up your eyes and realize what's going on in the world, this has been going on for a long time. It's not just now. It's been going on for years. Going on for years. Imagine me being pregnant and I ended up, I had to have a C-section and they cut me open without giving me no anesthesia medication to see if I can withstand that pain. You can imagine that of any race, any woman that's ever carried a child. Imagine the pain that our ancestors went through. Imagine the amount of they experiment, how much whippings. How many other race do you think could withstand 480 years of slavery, plus the whippings, the downgraded, and still going through this in 2020? This has got to stop. We are one nation, one race. Yes, we might have different heritage, different background, but y'all need to look into things and realize that this is just it's crazy. It's crazy. Right? And as people we shouldn't have to. It's already bad enough that life is hard as it is, right? Without you having somebody hating you just because there's something that maybe you have that they want, right? You are just people being bad mind. But being hated because of your race, that's something that's out of your control, right? I had watched this documentary about this young white Caucasian man that they have pills out there that he took a pill. I think it was a pill or an injection he had took. It was years ago I watched this documentary. And he took it because he wanted to see what it was like being a black person, right? So the same thing he did as a white person, he ended up taking the pill and he became dark. He ended up having melanin skin. So he looked like us and he was outside walking on the sidewalk, and he realized that when he walked by a Caucasian woman, she clenched her purse tightly. Some of them would walk across the other side of the road, right? He never understand why we are the way we are when it comes to certain things. And then you do have it why you find some black people, they don't integrate with any other race but their own, right? Because some of them, they're still hurt. Our nation, we never got an apology for over the 400 years of being slave. We never got nothing out of it. Our hard sweat, our ancestors, them sweat and tears were the foundation that built this world, build the land. You can't imagine being dragged out of your country, losing your identity. And this is why so much of us have different name, like, so much different European name, because having a last name like Campbell, Williams, Smith, and all those stuff, those names were from the people, the slave masters that had us as slave. That's where we get those last names from. I'm sure right now that you guys don't know that out of the 100 and something people that are in I forgot what it's called, that Trump hired, that are the judge, more than 58 of them were actual slave owners. Did you guys know that are in the high Supreme Courts? I'm sure a lot of you guys did not know that, because a lot of people, y'all just go on living your daily lives and don't know, right? Don't know about stuff like that.
No, by the way, no.
Mario!
You can't do that.
Can't do what? Can't do what? Oh, babes!
Cougars will come to this town. That is my concern. We are forced to take a stand. If you live
Stop, Mario!
You touch your finger and dash away now.
You go dash away. Oh gosh. These guys, you see me come up here, so I'm taking a break from cooking, and this is what is going on. Huh? You saw this one have me in a headlock?
I know.
Yeah. So right here, we're watching the riot that's going on in the world, saying we can't breathe. We can't breathe. Oh, God, we're living in some
Come on.
dangerous times. So dinner's almost finished. We're about to eat. I'm going to call it a night because your girl is tired and I got some editing to do. So we're about to eat some curry chicken and cooked food, and yeah, we're just gonna hang out. Really, Mario? So we'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace, guys. Stay blessed.
I know this is really love, cause baby, I'm feeling love. Me need more than a single. Is it too soon to say I love you? Cause girl, I do. I know those words are few, but I'll show you. Cause everybody needs somebody.